it was so weird going around parts of your home with the idea of, what if I never come back? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren if you're new here, and welcome back to my long lost Storytime Saturdays. I am so happy. Happy is a weird word to use because the title, you understand. But I am happy to be making this video for you. If you're new here, 5 months ago, I developed a hand, finger, wrist issue that's been keeping me from getting work done. So I had to stop my Storytime Saturdays and just focus on getting up my Taylor Swift Tuesdays. And it's been really sad because this is a series on my channel that is all about me that I really wanted to bring back. And I'm very excited to bring it back. Obviously, I'm not excited that this thing happened to me, but it gave me a good reason to want to turn the camera on and tell you guys a story. Long intro, that was fun. Hi, I'm Lauren if you're new here. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I talk about all things pop culture from a positive light and just a lot of other things from a positive light. Life, lifestyle, lots of other things. So just make sure you're subscribed, the post notifications turned on, and that you're following me on social media. All right, I'm done with all that crap because let's get into like the real meat of the story here. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be telling you the story of what happened to me 3 days ago. Yes, I was almost evacuated from my house, but I was told that I should be. There was a whole big confusing thing. So let me just get into it. In case you were unaware, California has been overrun with wildfires recently. There's been some in NorCal, there's been some in LA, and it's just crazy. I mean, I'm from Colorado. I'm very used to like fires happening, and they do a lot of controlled burns in Colorado. But just even being in LA for like 2.5 years, you understand that this is like fire season. There's a lot of dry brush, there's a lot of accidents that happen, and fires happen. I wanted to tell this story because this is probably one of the craziest things and feelings that I've ever had happen to me. So I will just hop right into the story. So on Sunday, I went to bed early because I had this whole Taylor Swift zombie Halloween costume video planned out for Tuesday that I knew that I needed to film on Monday. My assistant was gonna come over bright and early at 7:30. We're gonna literally get started on this video. We had this huge plan. I was very excited because it's something different from what I usually do. I normally do my Taylor Swift Tuesday news shows, and this was something different, and I was excited about that. I wanted to take a risk and do this. I went to bed early and I was just ready for the week. And usually on Sundays, I'm like a little, like, I don't know, get those Sunday scaries feelings, but this Sunday I was just in a great mood. And then, are you familiar with the sound that your phone makes when you get something like an Amber Alert? It makes a really loud sound, and it sounds like this. Yeah, that kind of sound will jerk you out of a deep sleep. So at 2:44 a.m., I got this alert. This loud alarm went off on my phone, and it said, "Emergency alert, LA Fire Department, prepare to evacuate due to fire." I was in such like a deep sleep that I got this alarm, looked at it, and I read it, and then it didn't click with me that something was wrong. You know, like when you wake up, when you're jerked out of a sleep, you're unsure if you're like awake or you're dreaming. Like that's kind of what happened to me. I want to say that I saw this alarm go off my phone, and then I just hit dismiss, and then I went back to bed. Now, I'm not saying that that was the right decision. I'm just trying to tell you the story as it happened. It was my 2:45 in the morning mind just trying to get me to go back to sleep. I don't know. No one like prepares you for things like this. So then an hour later at 3:22 a.m., I get another blaring alarm on my phone, and it says, "Emergency alert, LA Fire Department, mandatory evacuation order for this area in the canyon," which wasn't my area. But when I hit this alarm and I hit dismiss, because you want to hit dismiss on it because it's so loud, like you just want the sound to stop. And so I don't really remember what was going through my head at that point, but after I hit dismiss on this alert, I noticed that I had 2 texts from my neighbor and good friend Adrian that says, "Yo, are you awake? We have to evacuate." That was when Lauren was awake. It was 3:30 a.m. and I was like, what? I'm trying to remember back on these like moments right when I woke up. You know what? I turned my camera on and I started vlogging. I'm going to show you some clips from that night right now. Excuse the tiredness and the glasses. It is 3:30 a.m. in the morning on Monday, October 28th. I just got a notification on my phone that a fire has broken out near us and that we're possibly in the mandatory evacuation zone. Oh my God. We weren't able to see the flames before, now I can see flames. Oh my God. So at this point, I got this alert. So I looked out to my window here and I looked up into the sky, and I don't remember seeing anything. I think I just remember it being like a little bit like of a red tint outside, and I don't hear either of my roommates awake. So I put on some shoes and then I walk outside, and I was kind of like, okay, if we had to evacuate, like there would be like police knocking on our door. There should be like sirens in our neighborhood being like, you have to prepare to evacuate like right now. Like that is what I was thinking. And so I was like, okay, it's not that serious. Like this isn't really happening. And then I walked down my street and I saw just a few of my neighbors like looking off into the distance and just like staring. So I walk over like in my pajamas, and I noticed that I didn't walk outside and smell smoke right away. So I was like, oh, it must be okay. So then I look out and I stand next to where my neighbors are standing, and I'm just like shocked at like the sight that I saw. It was like red billowing clouds. I could see flames on a mountain in front of me, and it was the most surreal thing that I've ever experienced. You see fires on the news, you hear about evacuations, you see the aftermath on the news, on social media, and like I was still just in this like sleepy mindset. And so then as I'm standing there, my neighbor comes out and he goes, yo, are you packed? Are you ready to go? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, do we have to evacuate? He's like, yeah, my whole house is packed up, like we're next. Have you checked the Twitter? And I was like, no, I haven't. I don't know, like he's like, yeah, go wake your whole house up. And I was just like in this panic of like, is this really happening? It's so quiet out, and I don't know. But then I'm like, yeah, I guess if everyone else is. And it was getting like chills even like reliving this. This is why I wanted to turn the camera on, is because it's so fresh in my mind. And my suitcase is still packed right there. Let me get there. So I walk back into my house, I go down into my room, and then I start to like look on Twitter, and the mandatory evacuation area is across the street from me, and it's growing. So that's why my neighbor is like, we've got to evacuate, pack all of your stuff up, let's get this going. And so it's 3:30 in the morning. Both my roommates are sleeping. I just walk back into the house and I turn the lights on, and then I just kind of go knock on my roommate Haley's door, and I go, Haley, and like for some reason, this is what was really weird. Both of my roommates' doors were locked, and they told me this afterwards, neither of them usually lock it, which is like, I don't know, kind of creepy and eerie in my mind. And so I knocked on the door and I was like, Haley, like, I'm so sorry to wake you. And she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, there's a fire. I think we need to evacuate. So she shoots out of bed. Cooper's running around. I go wake up my other roommate, Shelby, and she like makes this like scream, and she's like, what? Oh my God. And it was a really surreal thing. So I live on a different floor than my roommates. So they were like upstairs, like talking about what they're packing. And I'm just like, wait, are we like really packing? Like, what are you throw in there? And I don't know why, it was really hard for me to believe, which is like a stupid, naive thing for me to say. I literally looked at the flames with my own eyeballs, and like, I still had like a hard time believing it, because it's kind of a crazy, unbelievable thing. I don't know. So then I come downstairs. What do you pack when you come into your room? And Adrian was like, medication, contact lenses, glasses, tax documents, anything valuable, anything irreplaceable. And so I'm just like looking around my room, and I'm like, I don't even know. Like, it was so weird going around parts of your room and parts of your home with the idea of, what if I never come back? What do I want to take with me? And God, even like saying this is like reliving this story. It was really scary and panic to like have to try and think of that, with also having no type of direction or confirmation that this was a thing. Like when I go back and I look through the notifications that I got, the first mandatory evacuation wasn't for my neighborhood, but to see this mandatory evacuation zone on their Twitter, and just to see it growing by the second, like we were like, oh, well, it's definitely going to continue to grow, and it's definitely going to come towards us, so we've got to pack and prepare. And we all started bringing our cars down into the fire lane, and I just started like going through like random things and scenarios in my head of like, am I gonna end up in like an evacuation center? Do I need to be bringing like pillows? And so then I started just throwing like pillows into my car, and then I started to go around and I was like, what's the most valuable thing that I have? And I was just like, my electronics, my camera, my laptop, things that are irreplaceable, things that are family heirlooms to me. It is the most jarring, unsettling thing, I guess, to look at your closet full of clothes. And I don't want this to sound like privileged, and I feel like it could come off that way. Clothes mean more to me than like a material thing. Like I have memories with like certain shirts from college. One of my best friends passed away and I have his shirt. I have clothes that I've gotten from when I studied abroad, like things that are like meaningful to me, my favorite dress, things that I'm like, oh my God, what do I put in this suitcase right now? Like if I could choose a few things from my closet, what do I choose? I don't even know how to explain it. It's just really hard to put yourself in a mindset of looking around your room, and your room is like your room and your home are a collection of things that you have collected and bought, and things have been given to you, and you have memories with them. And to be forced to like think what is irreplaceable, what is that, and I don't know. I guess the reason I wanted to tell this story time is just because of how scary this was and how crazy it is. And like there are people out there that had to evacuate. What ended up happening was 3:30 a.m. like all of our stuff is packed. We're running around the house, we're throwing things into our car. I have my guitars in there. We're sitting there on the couch and we're like, okay, like do we go to an Airbnb? Do we call a hotel? So we just kept walking outside and we kept checking on the fire, and like neither of my roommates saw what I saw, because every time I went back out there, it seemed as if it was starting to get contained. I was unable to see flames anymore the more that I went out. So I was awake from 3 a.m. till 5:15 in the morning. And at 5:15, when we hadn't heard anything, LA Fire Department hadn't been updating their Twitter as often, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to go back to bed. I'm gonna sleep with my Apple Watch on me, my phone on loud, so that any notification, like I will hear it and I am ready to go. Like I was all packed to go. The only thing I didn't throw in there was my suitcase with my clothes and my medications and stuff. Like I have a hand injury right now. Like I need all these like anti-inflammatory stuff that I'm taking. I was like, if someone were to bang on my door right now and like get out of your house right this second, I could bring my suitcase with me into my car. And so I like went to bed like in my clothes, like with shoes next to my bed, and it was the scariest thing that I think I've ever been through, honestly. Like not knowing. There was no communication. I didn't know what was happening or what to do, if we should evacuate just in case. Like, would they close the roads? Would we be able to evacuate? Like, all of these thoughts were just like swirling around our head. And then at this moment, it's 5 a.m. and I'm like, I need to text my parents. I need to text my assistant that I don't think I can shoot tomorrow. My house might not even be there. So then I text her and we push back the shoot date as like a just in case I'm still here. And I slept from like, I think 5 a.m. till 8:30 in the morning or something, and nothing had happened. We had not been evacuated. The mandatory evacuation zone hadn't grown from the last time that we checked. And so we just were like on high alert all day. And you know, it's a Monday. Mondays are my intense work day full of stress to get my video up the next day on Tuesday. And it was really hard to concentrate on anything to do with Taylor Swift when you think that your house and your belongings might not be there, when your safety is compromised. I am very dedicated to my channel and to making sure that like I'm able to eat and, you know, pay rent and do those kind of things, because YouTube is my full-time job right now. But it was the craziest feeling. And now, like, it is Thursday. Right now I'm recording this on Halloween. Happy Halloween. And like all my stuff, what's really been crazy is to think about all of that panic and all of that unknown right there that I felt early Monday morning all the way into Monday and Tuesday with these crazy winds that we're having in California, because I was so panicked that I just started throwing makeup, hair ties, jewelry into a bag and then throwing it and just moving on to the next thing. Like it was so surreal and crazy to think about things like that, and to think about like, what are the most valuable things that I own? Like, I have a family heirloom from my mom that her grandma gave to her, and it's this like ring that has been passed down, and I'm excited to pass down to my daughter one day. And you think of things like that, and then you look around your room and all these material things that you're like, that's replaceable, but you might have an emotional attachment to like a water bottle. I don't know, I'm making things up here, but it's just like, it's very interesting to put yourself in a mindset like that. It's wild to me. And I look back and I look at like this horribly packed suitcase that I did in my panicked state, and it's just full of like leggings, tennis shoes, random shirts that I don't even like that much, but I was just like pulling things off the hangers. I had no idea like what was gonna happen. My heart goes out to people out there that had to evacuate, because I didn't end up having to. I'll be honest with you, my house was so close. Like, I'm not kidding you when I say so close to that evacuation zone for days. my suitcase has been packed here for days because I just don't know. My car is still full of my guitars and my shoes and it is just a scary thing. And I've just kind of been in like a weird mood all week, and I don't know. It really just makes you look around and think like these things that we buy for ourselves to make our room look cute, to make ourselves look cute, to make us look better, make us feel better, they just don't matter that much. And I feel like that's kind of what this whole experience like taught me. It also taught me that if this were to ever happen again, I now would know what to grab, or I would have a better idea of what to grab, like passports, contact lenses, my camera, my box lights, like things that are expensive to me, but like random things like my dresser, my bed, twinkle lights. Like I don't need these things. And it was crazy, and I am safe. I appreciate everyone's concern and text messages and DMs and phone calls. Like all my friends from Colorado have been texting me being like, are you all right? Are you close? Like the news is making it look like everything's, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, things are pretty horrible. It's a fire. Like the houses are burning right now. And it's definitely very scary. I'm very thankful that I'm still here. My home is still here, and I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling because I feel like I'm even just retelling this story. I feel like I'm like back in it. It was so upsetting. And I just, those firefighters who risk their lives to save other human beings in their homes, it's just the amount of bravery and strength and commitment they have to their jobs is so admirable and amazing. And if you know any firefighters in your life, please give them a hug or send them a text right now to be like, hey, you're badass, you save lives, you single-handedly save lives. I'm all worked up now, I've got chills all over my body. I think about like people that, because this fire started to go up into like Calabasas, where people have like ranches and horses, and I know that these animals are like hard to evacuate, but you have to have something like in place to evacuate them. I don't know. It's just been like so on the forefront of my mind this past week, and I felt like I wanted to turn the camera on and kind of talk about this while it is fresh. And I get this like sense of like depressed, eerie feeling every time I walk past this suitcase of like, wow, remember that? That was only a few hours ago. That was only a few days ago when you were looking at your room like you could be there for the last time. That's what's so weird. And I don't know, I live in California, and everyone's like, well, you have to prepare for the earthquake, the big one. And now I'm like, yeah, I want to have like some type of earthquake backpack or something. I don't know, it's scary. My mind has been elsewhere. I don't know, it just kind of makes you realize what's important in life and the things that truly matter to you, like the sentimental things that are irreplaceable. And I don't know. Obviously, I'm so happy that we didn't get evacuated, but like, you know, the fire's not over. It's still happening right now, and the winds could change at any moment. That's kind of like what is so scary, is that this fire started at 2:30 a.m. They now know the cause of it. A tree branch fell onto power lines and it started this fire. A tree branch. It's crazy. Like that something like that can start such a horrible, horrible fire. I'm at a loss for words. It was really crazy. I'm feeling very thankful today, these days. And I'm still also very like, creeped out is not the word, but it is like an eerie feeling, like a lingering feeling of like all the stress that I had of that moment. And it's just kind of still lingering around my room right now. And I think that's why I thought you guys might be interested to hear this story, see a little bit more into my life. This isn't my everyday, I swear. It's just a crazy story that happened, and I was like, what better time to tell this story than Storytime Saturday, and also bring awareness to the fires and bring awareness to things in life that actually matter, like really, really matter, like your life and your safety, and how your priorities just change, like, or they can change like within an instant. I hope this didn't like depress anybody. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to just share an experience that I had. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you guys for being patient with me. I haven't been as honest with you as I should be about how much this injury is still affecting me. I cannot believe it's been 5 months since this injury started, and like this injury affects my ability to like get dressed in the morning, let alone write a script, decode a video. That is why I'm so behind on everything. 5 months, that's a different story time for a different day, but like 5 months ago, when I said that I was gonna post a video, I would do it. And right now I'm very behind on videos, and it kills me and it stresses me out, and I'm just trying to like take it day by day because I feel stressed. I feel guilt that I'm behind on things. I'm so behind on things. I still have to do my Lover unboxing videos, my 4 videos. I'm doing a giveaway. I gotta do the Lover music video decoding, all decodings from all the Lover songs. Like, I'm behind. I'm aware that I'm behind. I would so appreciate you guys being patient with me. Don't believe everything you see on social media. I know that I come across as this like, hi, I'm all positive and happy, but like, sometimes life isn't all positive and happy. I can try my hardest to have that outlook for everything, but sometimes life just kicks you to the ground when you're least expecting it. And so that is why I'm behind on everything, and I want to get back to my Storytime Saturdays. I want to get back, not even just story times, I want to call it like a Saturday series where I do other things. I'm going to do challenges, going vegan for a week or 30 days, or trying things. That's really, I want to just experiment with my channel and my content, and I want to know the kinds of things you want to see from me. I really hope that you enjoyed this story time as well as this last TST, my spooky Halloween TST that took me so much time to finish. And thank you to my amazing friend Brad, who just, God, I have really good people in my life right now helping me. My incredible assistant Allie, my amazing friend Brad, who helps me edit at the drop of a hat when another editor like quits on me, and I'm just in this place of stress where I can't get things done right now. And I'm just very appreciative for these people in my life, and I'm appreciative for you in my life watching this video, sending me nice tweets and DMs, being understanding when I'm late on stuff, because I don't really have the money to have a whole team of people. I wish I could have a news show on the level of Philip DeFranco, but not just yet. So I'm doing everything I can with what I have. So that was a long little outro. I don't really know why it took so long to get there, but that is, I think, the end of what I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know the other story times you'd like to see from me. I'd love to know the other type of videos you want to see from me that aren't story times. Like, I want to go out there into the world and live and film it for you. Like, this is my dream job, and I want to push through this crazy time that I'm in right now and just continue to pursue this. So thank you for sticking with me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to leave it a like, share it with your friends, give your loved ones a hug today, and send them a text. And like, you just don't know. Someone's life could be threatened in an instant, tomorrow, today. Just don't hold grudges. Just reach out, be nice to people, hug your dogs, and please take your animals with you. Please, please, please. All right. After School Special brought to you by Lipman. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.